Hello, and welcome to State of Events. I'm Christy Reno.
And I'm Oscar Maciel. Thanks for joining us.
A new bill targeting adult cyclists in California is causing quite the buzz. Viviana Cruz joins us in the studio with more details. Viviana, what can we expect from this new bill?
Well, Christy, the new law would require all cyclists, regardless of age, to wear a helmet when riding a bike. According to the bill proposed by Senator Carol Liu, Californians would have to comply by the law or face a fine of $25.
When you take off on two wheels, is wearing a helmet a priority for you or not? Soon, you might have to make it one. Whether you're commuting downtown for work or just taking a stroll through Golden Gate Park, this bill would apply to all adults riding a bike at any given time. For avid cyclist Bennett Schultz, a helmet is always a good idea.
My sister got in a bike accident and hit her head really hard. She was saved because of the helmets. That kind of scared me. That was like scare tactics to get me to wear a helmet always.
However, Bennett doesn't believe a fining system would be very fair.
It'll probably end up hurting, easily targeted people. So think about like a homeless person or a person of color.
Other cyclists like Juanito Schiano think different measures should be taken instead.
What isn't being addressed is the, lack of infrastructure that separates cyclists from motor vehicles. I think creating that first will definitely prevent a lot more injuries than the simple requirement of having to wear helmets.
Although helmets may save lives, cyclists agree that more needs to be done to protect them. Better bike infrastructure and harsher driving laws are at the top of the list.
Currently, the bill is in the committee stage, and if it passes, California will be the only state to require adults to wear a helmet as well as reflective gear at night. Reporting live, I'm Viviana Cruz for State of Events. Back to you, Christy.
Thanks, Viviana. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, on average, 700 people are killed from motor vehicle traffic crashes. A new app was just released that could prevent these fatalities. It's called Bike Shield. Simply download the app, and when you are driving, it will activate 5 to 10 seconds before you see the bicyclist. The app will ding. The biker also downloads it so that it sends the signals to other cars. The app is currently free on both Apple and Android phones.
San Francisco's oldest taxi company is getting a makeover. DeSoto Cabs is ditching their signature blue and white for Flywheel Red. Flywheel's smartphone app helps call, track, and pay for your cab. DeSoto's president hinted that companies like Uber and Lyft prompted the change. Kim says he hopes DeSoto's new look gets cabs some needed attention.
2015 has brought a lot of change to several companies. It started with Radio Shack filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They are planning on closing over 4,000 stores. Another change we will see is with Office Depot and Office Max. The two companies have merged together. There is even talk that Staples will buy the chain.
While a new cafe is opening in San Francisco, that might add a little perfection to your day. In April, Kit Tea Cafe will be the first cat cafe to open its doors in San Francisco. Founder Courtney Hatt came up with the idea 2 years ago and is hoping this cafe does as well as Oakland's, which currently has a 6-month waiting period. Kit Tea Cafe will not be the first cat cafe in America or even the Bay, but it's still expected to do extremely well.
UC students walked out on Monday to protest a 5% tuition increase per student. In response, the University of California President Janet University of California Janet Napolitano has postponed the increase for a full year. This is ongoing negotiation with Governor Jerry Brown to resolve their standoff. The Board of Regents approved her request in November to raise tuition for the next 5 years if the state didn't provide more financial assistance.
There was a shooting in LA over the weekend.
And the happiest place on earth might have been a little less happy on Saturday. That's next.
On sale at bookstores and newsstands near you.
Experience Theater Bay Area Magazine.
Welcome back to State of Events. A fatal police shooting in downtown Los Angeles is caught on camera. Now, we want to warn you that the video you're about to see may be disturbing for some viewers. The video shows police fighting with a robbery suspect. The struggle then continues on the ground. Moments later, shots ring out. The LAPD says the officers acted in self-defense.
You can hear the young officer who is primarily engaged in the confrontation, saying that he has my gun. He has my gun, and he says it several times.
A formal investigation is underway. Police hope body camera video from at least one officer will provide more details. Now, movies like Selma have shown us that films are effective mediums to address social issues. Xavier Galindo tells us about a young filmmaker in Oakland who hopes his short film can spark a discussion about discrimination in gentrified communities. Xavier?
Thank you, Oscar. Amor for Alex is a short film that looks to advocate for support in the case of Alex Nieto, who, according to the creator, Rafael Flores, was shot for simply eating a burrito in a gentrified neighborhood. It was a 911 call from a neighbor that ended in the killing of 28-year-old Alex Nieto, who was shot by SFPD.
This is the actual weapon that Mr. Nieto had
for pointing a taser gun to police. However, for actor Alex Hernandez, the issue is more concerning than that.
Here in the Mission District, you know, you're Latino. You're targeted.
Latinos in and around the Mission District have found it difficult to make their voices heard about what they feel are injustices in their neighborhoods. This has prompted creative minds such as Rafael Flores to take a more artistic approach.
If I don't tell this story, then somebody might tell the story and misconstrue it and not understand the experience of Alex Nieto.
Following the success of Fruitvale Station, many believe films are effective tools to address the injustices that plague minorities. As a result, Amor for Alex was created. Amor for Alex is a short film that will be screened here at the Mission Cultural Center on March 21st, and it's going to be followed by a forum where community members are going to discuss ways in which they can move forward from this tragedy. Rafael states that he also hopes that his film would influence newly arrived residents to play a role in ending discrimination against Latinos in the Mission.
You can't unequitably profile people in your community and call the police on them. That type of unneighborly sentiment is precisely what we were trying to combat with this film.
Let me remind you all that on February 13th, the 4 officers that were involved in the shooting of Alex Nieto were clear of any charges. According to the district attorney, this is because they mistook the taser that Alex Nieto pointed at police for a pistol. In San Francisco for State of Events, Xavier Galindo.
A Miami Gardens police chief was caught on the other side of the law. Chief Stephen Johnson was arrested at a hotel Friday night during an undercover operation targeting the solicitation of prostitutes. According to the arrest affidavit, an ad was placed in the escort section of a website. Johnson called the number, and during the conversation, he had allegedly told an undercover detective that he, quote, wanted to do everything.
It just overwhelmed me. The stress overwhelmed me, and I made a very bad decision to deal with that moment that I've never experienced before.
Johnson says that he had to deal with a grieving family and a 9-year-old girl who was hit by an unmarked police car in Miami Gardens. He says those 2 incidences overwhelmed him.
A man has been charged in connection with the murder of a contestant on America's Next Top Model. Emmanuel Rangel has been charged for the triple homicide involving Mirjana Puhar. The 19-year-old was shot in a robbery last Sunday. Detectives confirmed it was drug-related.
Flames broke out near a popular ride at Disneyland on Saturday. A small fire started in the backstage area near the It's a Small World attraction. Park officials shut down the ride so firefighters could handle the blaze. It was reopened later that night. The ride was not damaged during the fire. Officials are still investigating the cause of the fire.
A Mardi Gras party with a purpose. Fillmore Fat Tuesday is an annual event that is more than just a party. Sepana Gilsarup is live in our newsroom with more.
Thank you, Christy. And that's right. This event aims to raise money for kids in the neighborhood.
The Fillmore District is no stranger to jazz and blues.
Perfect for celebrating Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras event isn't exactly like Bourbon Street. The Village Project puts this event on to help kids in the neighborhood.
Executive Director Adrian Williams explains their goals.
The neighborhood is sort of a crime-infested neighborhood, and so we try to give the babies an alternative to the violence that they're exposed to.
An alternative being after-school programs and summer enrichment camp, which is where the proceeds from today's event will go. The next Fillmore Fat Tuesday event will be held next February. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Sepana Gilsrup, San Francisco State of Events.
Thank you, Sepana. Coming up next, there's a new ban on BART.
And find out how SF State will make history in the home of the Giants.
When it's time to choose healthcare for your teen, you want the best. When it's time for your teen's questions to be answered, you want a professional you can trust. At Valencia Health Services, your time is well spent. We provide professional, quality healthcare. Valencia Health Services, dedicating quality time to professional healthcare because your teen's health is our first priority. Valencia Health Services, quality time because we care.
Welcome back to State of Events. The FCC recently made a landmark decision on net neutrality. They declared the internet a public utility. The decision maintains equality for all content and web traffic. If they voted against it, companies would have started charging more for content.
BART has banned e-cigarettes. With the ban, there's a fine for $100 for first-time offenders. After that, the fine increases for each repeated offense. Several cities and counties have already banned e-cigarettes. They say that it's a threat to public health. BART wants to keep up with the city restrictions.
There is a growing concern over the spread of measles due to the recent outbreak. But there is a surprising amount of unvaccinated children in Marin County. Just 84% of kindergartners in Marin are fully vaccinated. This is compared to the state's average of 88%. The low percentage is due to a personal belief exemption, which parents can file to excuse their child from receiving the vaccinations. Several efforts to remove this personal belief exemption are underway.
Well, suicides are down on the Golden Gate Bridge. This comes after a spike of deaths in 2013. The Bridge Rail Foundation says 38 people took their lives last year. 2 years ago, that number was at 46. Last year, bridge officials approved a suicide prevention net. It'll cost just over $75 million. The 20-foot wide nets will be made of stainless steel. The Bridge Authority says it will take 3 years to install them. Well, corrosion was found on an eastern tower anchor of the Bay Bridge. 424 steel anchor rods secure the new suspension tower. Last fall, bridge officials said 95% of the rods hadn't been grouted. This would protect against corrosion and rust. Caltrans officials say there's no safety risks.
May is just around the corner, and that means spring graduation is nearing. Shelby Nelson has more details on what's next for the recent grads. Shelby?
This year, President Wong and his staff are doing things a little differently. That means that the graduation ceremony is going to be a little larger for both grads and undergrads. The commencement ceremony here at San Francisco State University is getting a makeover. The ceremony for spring 2015 is set to be at AT&T Park rather than Cox Stadium. According to SF State organizers, switching the venue to the Giants' home stadium will honor graduates in an appropriate manner. It will also enhance the experience of graduating in San Francisco.
I think overall it's really cool, especially AT&T Park is a big part of the San Francisco area. Having it there kind of puts it all together, and it's better for the community, I think.
Students will not see any rise of fees other than the standard $100 payment for graduation.
One of the problems is that Cox Stadium is not really suitable anymore to host the kind of commencement ceremony that we have. And so we could either fix Cox Stadium, which would be enormously expensive, or find a venue that was more affordable. And as it turns out, making over Cox Stadium and making it able to accommodate commencement is actually more expensive than going to AT&T Park that has the facilities all ready to go.
AT&T Park holds a capacity of about 41,500 people. According to Whalen, 8,000 students will be graduating, of which about 5,000 grads and undergrads will partake in the ceremony. As of now, they're waiting to see if more grads will participate. However, if they choose not to, those who have already decided to partake in the ceremony might be able to bring 1 to 2 additional guests. Live in San Francisco, I'm Shelby Nelson with State of Events.
The Giants and their trophies are visiting with fans.
And lovers of The Walking Dead may want to check out eBay. That's next on State of Events.
When I enroll in school, I want to learn how to run a business. When I enroll in school, I want to learn how to build houses. When I enroll in school, I want to learn how to put out fires. When I enroll in school, I'm going to learn how to save life.
You have the tools, you have the power. You can help your child by completing the enrollment application on time today.
Welcome back to State of Events. I'm John Wilson with sports. Now, as we told you earlier, SF State's commencement ceremony will be at AT&T Park in May. But earlier this month, the Giants set up a very welcome display on our campus. On February 4th, SF State students lined up to see the Giants' 3 World Series trophies in Jack Adams Hall. There was no cost to faculty and students, and the Giants even funded the event. It was a 4-hour window for folks to take their free photo with the triplets, and a couple Giants fans already know what they're going to do with their picture.
I'm going to go make it my Facebook profile picture, obviously. Frame it at home, send it to all the people that I have in the picture with me.
It's already on Instagram, it's already on Facebook. I'm putting it everywhere on social media, just showing family and friends that I saw the trophies and rubbing it in their face.
The team's been taking the trophies on tour through California, and San Francisco State is the only university they're stopping at. And speaking of the world champs, on February 7th, Giants fans lined up outside of AT&T Park to see the team for the first time since they won it all. Reporter Ashley Keene was there to check it out.
Thanks, John. This year, I was lucky enough to be one of the 42,500 people to attend Giants Fanfest. KNBR hosts this event every year where Giants fans get to hear from their favorite players and have access to parts of AT&T Park that are usually off limits. The weather forecast might have predicted rain, but that didn't stop Giants faithfuls from pouring into AT&T Park. From the field to the press box and even the nosebleed section, you could find Giants fans exploring every part of the stadium. They also got the chance to get autographs and talk with some of their favorite players.
The amount of fans that come for FanFest surpassed the amount of seats and the sold-out crowd limit of the stadium, so it's pretty fun to see that.
This is not only an exciting day for the fans, but players too. They finally get to interact with the people that cheer them on year-round.
Thank you for all the support, man. Where do you want it?
FanFest was a definite success and a great way to get excited about the 2015 baseball season. Giants home opener is April 13th against the Colorado Rockies. Game time at 1:35. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Ashley Keene, State of Events. John, back to you.
Thank you, Ashley. Now, the old home of the Giants and 49ers is about to be a thing of the past. Candlestick Park is currently being demolished, and our Jenna Berkman takes a look at what made the stick so special.
Candlestick Park is officially a memory. The stadium has been home to some of the most memorable moments in history. Moments like the catch in 1982, to the final concert and public event at Candlestick when Paul McCartney performed in 2014. You can definitely say it had a good run. So I asked fans about their favorite memory of the stick.
Oh, well, the catch, because me and my brother snuck into that game. And we were there, and it was cool. We snuck in the little back way through the little gate and got into the ramp, and we was right there, like, bam. As soon as we came out, that's one of the first things we saw, and that made me a Niner fan forever.
Now, the longtime home of the 49ers and Giants is under demolition. Lennar Urban is mechanically demolishing the stadium instead of imploding it. In other words, they will use high-rise excavators to take it apart piece by piece. Lennar Urban spokesperson David Satterfield says the community had concerns about the dust generated by an implosion.
We didn't have a strong preference either way in terms of implosion or mechanical demolition. We're just happy to be moving now.
Satterfield expects the stadium work will last about 5 months.
The stick will forever be a historical place. And as you can see, there is no one here except construction workers. There are signs prohibiting anyone from entering, and soon there will be nothing left of the stadium. So what's next for the site? A development with shopping and housing.
The site is approximately 200 acres. The urban outlet will be designed as a pedestrian-friendly retail anchor. The project will also include about 6,000 differing homes. The shopping center is expected to open in late 2017 or early 2018. Reporting in San Francisco, I'm Jenna Berkman, State of Events.
Now, there's a new king in Sacramento. The Kings hired George Karl to be their head coach. Karl replaces Tyrone Corbin and is the Kings' third coach just this season. The 25-year veteran is the 6th winningest coach of all time and is the leader among active coaches. He's taken his teams to the playoff 22 times and was named Coach of the Year just 2 seasons ago. In his introductory press conference, Karl said he's grateful for the opportunity to coach again and is excited to get back in the gym.
I think I've been out of basketball for a year and a half, and I'm just really, I think the older I get, the more humble I get, knowing that there's only 30 of these jobs in the league, and to have one of those opportunities. And the situation is I've missed the gym, I love the game, and I want one more shot at trying to win a championship.
The Kings are 2-3 so far under Karl, and they'll face the Knicks tonight in New York. That's all for sports. I'm John Wilson.
And now for our weird story of the week. For fans of The Walking Dead, this could be the ultimate piece of memorabilia. No, it's not a zombie, but you could buy the town where several episodes were filmed. Grantville, Georgia is up for sale on eBay, and for just $680,000, it could be yours. The town comes with 9 downtown buildings. Grantville's mayor says that several movies are lined up to film there soon.
Well, this may be low-hanging fruit, but I hear people are dying to buy it. And that was your bad joke for this week. So, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.